What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards coming at you on a Monday. As always, I'm Nathan Holloway, and with me, Jared Trash.
What's up?
So, of course, we're doing this on Monday because Wednesday is Christmas, and we're not going to record on Christmas because this ain't that important. So, instead, we're doing it 2 days earlier. Yay. We're starting in the NFL. Like always, both Jalen Hurts and Kenny Pickett were injured, and the Eagles lost to the Commanders. It's really like the only news since it's, Monday. We're going to go ahead and go through a Week 16 recap. There is one game that is still yet to be played between my Packers and the Saints tonight. We're going to start off on Thursday where the Chargers defeat the Broncos 34-27. Big game for the playoff picture in the AFC as both teams needed a win. The Chargers desperately needed a win, and this is a tough blow for the Broncos, especially to basically blow this game like they did. Justin Herbert, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Bo Nix, 263 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did not throw an interception. It's a miracle. Chiefs took down the Texans 27-19. Mahomes, 260 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. C.J. Stroud, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Tank Dell had 98 yards and a touchdown on that same touchdown catch. He suffered a dislocated knee and a torn ACL, which will keep him out for the rest of this season and most of next season. So, tough blow for Dell, who last year, if you remember, broke his leg. It hasn't been good. Maybe he should put on some pounds. The Ravens dominated the Steelers 34-17. Lamar, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He might have just overtaken Josh Allen for the MVP. Derrick Henry, 162 yards. Russell Wilson, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Rams defeated the Jets 19-9. This was a terrible game. I watched part of it and then turned it off. Stafford, 110 yards, touchdown, a pick. Kyron Williams, 122 yards and a touchdown. Rodgers had 256 yards and a touchdown. He is 1 touchdown away from the 500th of his career. The Commanders came back to defeat the Eagles 36-33 despite 5 turnovers. Jaden Daniels, 258 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. He also led the team in rushing with 81 rushing yards. It was not their big-name guys that were catching. I mean, Terry McLaurin did catch a touchdown. But it wasn't the big-name guys that were catching touchdowns. Alameda, Zacchaeus, and Jamison Crowder both had 2 touchdowns. Crowder had the game-winning one with 5 seconds left. Saquon had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Eagles. Most of that came in the first quarter. Then, they brought in Kenny Pickett because Jalen Hurts suffered a concussion. Falcons blew out the Giants 34-7. Penix had 202 yards and 1 interception. That was not his fault. It's because Kyle Pitts sucks and doesn't know how to hold on to the football. Bijan, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Drew Lock, 210 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. This is good for the Giants because right now they are on track to get the first overall pick because the Raiders won yesterday. The Panthers eliminated the Cardinals in overtime, 36-30. Bryce Young, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had a rushing touchdown. Chuba, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning rushing touchdown in overtime. Kyler Murray, 202 yards, touchdown, and pick. James Conner had 117 yards and touchdown before he got hurt. Bengals blew out the Browns 24-6. Joe Burrow, 252 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 97 yards and a touchdown. Dorian Thompson-Robinson sucks. 157 yards, 2 interceptions. Jameis is hurt, which is why they switched to him. Apparently he's hurt. He was out of the game because he was hurt. They should have just went with Jarrett Stidham, who was their backup. I was really expecting him to replace him because Dorian Thompson-Robinson had 4 yards in the first quarter. I think I could do that against a Bengals defense that arguably the worst defense in the league. Safe to say, DTR is not going to be around the NFL much longer. Colts held off the Titans 38-30. Anthony Richardson, 131 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception, 1 rushing touchdown. Jonathan Taylor made up for his mistake last week when he fumbled the ball going into the end zone. So this week he came back, 218 yards and 3 touchdowns on 29 carries. Pretty good game. Mason Rudolph, I bet I said Kyle Rudolph. I haven't heard Kyle Rudolph. That's a long time ago. Great tight end for your Minnesota Vikings. Mason Rudolph, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Will Levis could have done the same things. I don't know why you're not playing him. Lions blew out the Bears 34-17. Jared Goff, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 109 yards and a touchdown. Jameson Williams, 143 yards and a touchdown. Caleb Williams didn't have a terrible game, 334 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 141 yards and a touchdown. The Vikings defense wasn't or the Lions defense, I saw the Vikings on there. Lions defense was not that good in this game, to be honest. They didn't get after Caleb a ton, but they're the better team because the Bears suck. The Vikings down the Seahawks 27-24. Sam Darnold, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 of which went to Justin Jefferson. The other went to Jordan Addison. Geno Smith had 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Jackson Smith-Njigba continued his great season, 95 yards and a touchdown. Bills outlast the Patriots 24-21. They had a terrible start to this game. It was 14-0 Patriots early on. Josh Allen, only 154 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He only had like 30 yards on the ground. It was not a good game for Josh Allen. He also got hurt. He got hit in his funny bone. It was not funny for him.
Well, it's never funny.
Yeah.
It holds like hell.
Thanks. James Cook, 100 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. The Patriots could not stop them on the ground. They could not stop any of their running backs. Drake May, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a very, very bad interception. The Raiders knocked off the Jags 19-14. Aiden O'Connell, 257 yards. Brock Bowers had 99 yards. He also reached 1,000 yards on the season, his rookie year, for a tight end with, 3 separate quarterbacks who all suck. It's a miracle that Brock Bowers is this good.
He should be offensive player of the year.
You know who's not good? You know who's not good? Mac Jones. 247 yards, a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. is very good, though. 132 yards and a touchdown. He became the first rookie wide receiver to reach 1,000 yards this season. He might be the only one. The Dolphins blew out the 49ers 29-17. Tua, 215 yards and a touchdown. Devon Achane, 120 yards and a touchdown. He also led the team in receiving yards. Brock Purdy, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And then the Sunday night game, the Cowboys defeated the Buccaneers 26-24 in a much better game than I thought it would be. Cooper Rush, 292 yards and a touchdown. Baker had 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I'm not even gonna say it was a bad pick. It shouldn't have been a pick at all.
Yeah.
What the Cowboys defense did, their secondary at the end of the game on the third to last drive, intercepting Baker in the end zone, basically just stealing it out of the other guy's hands, and then on the final play of the game,
stripping it as they tackle.
Yeah. I will give Baker credit though; he kept them in that game, and although Rachaad White couldn't hold on to the ball, the fact that Baker was getting sacked by like 4 guys and was still able to throw that ball out was amazing.
Baker was the only one that was playing good on this team.
Yeah, Mike Evans only had like 69 yards. I believe he had 69 yards. I have him in fantasy, so he's gonna have a monster last 2 weeks to get 1,000 yards.
Is he like 800 or something like that? Well, not even that.
He's I believe before yesterday he was like 230 something away.
I mean, it's possible.
It is. Just so you know, Mike Evans has not had an 1,000-yard game since his senior year of high school, which was his first year playing football.
Yeah.
He's had 1,000 yards both years in college, and then
all years
every year in the NFL.
Since
the fact that he's still close to doing it, and he missed 4 weeks, over 4 weeks, because he missed like the half before. He's missed other time with injuries. Just tells you how good he is.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Of course, the Packers and Saints play tonight. By the time you listen to this, you'll probably know who won. Hopefully, it's the Packers. If the Packers win, they clinch the playoff spot. Thanks to the Vikings beating the Seahawks yesterday.
You're welcome.
Not thanking you. We would have been in over the Seahawks. Week 17 preview. There are 2 games on Christmas, both of which feature the 4 teams that played on Saturday this week.
They're on Netflix, though, ain't they?
Yes.
Which is stupid.
The first game is, guess what? I don't give 2 craps about the NFL on Christmas Day because the Christmas Day is all about the NBA. Chiefs Steelers.
Chiefs.
I'm also going to go with the Chiefs. Steelers can't run the ball. Najee sucks. And the Chiefs will find a way to win. Because they have all year. Thanks to the refs. Another game is Ravens and Texans.
Ravens.
I'm also going with the Ravens. The Texans, losing Tank Dell is huge. And CJ Stroud is not
playing good.
Yeah. The Thursday night game is a great one between the Seahawks and the Bears.
I think the Seahawks get it done still. Gino, he's going to be healthy, so.
I'm also going to go with the Seahawks. They have to win.
Yeah.
They have to win. The Bears, I feel like they're not trying to win. So they can get a higher draft pick. There are 3 games on Saturday. The first one is the Chargers and Patriots.
I think Patriots get it done because Chargers suck against bad teams.
I'm still going with the Chargers. I believe the Chargers win. They clinch the playoff spot. Broncos and Bengals.
Broncos.
This is a big game for both teams. The Bengals need a lot of help to make it in to the playoffs, including they need to win their last 2 games. And that's not going to happen because the Broncos are going to beat them this week. The final game on Saturday is, it would have been a great game if the Cardinals wouldn't have, lost to the Panthers. It would have been a lot bigger of a matchup.
Yeah.
Cardinals-Rams.
Rams.
I'm also going with the Rams. I believe the Rams win, Seahawks lose. Rams win the division. The fact that the Rams started 0-4, and they are now like 10-6.
Yeah.
This is not. They switched this. I did this morning. They switched this. Packers-Vikings will not be at noon on Fox. They are switching out Cowboys-Eagles. Cowboys-Eagles will be noon on Fox. And the Packers-Vikings will be at 4:25 Eastern Time. Or 3:25 where we live. So, we're going to save that.
It's a bigger game.
Yeah. Cowboys-Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm going with the Cowboys. I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback. And the Cowboys have looked great the last 2 weeks. Jets-Bills. Bills. The Jets can't win against any team, let alone a good one. Titans and Jags.
Nobody. Titans.
You know who doesn't win this game? The fans that are going to be watching it. I'm going to go with the Jags. I'll take Mac Jones over Mason Rudolph.
I'm just banking on Will Levis playing.
He's not going.
So,
Panthers and Buccaneers.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
I'm also going with the Panthers. This is a must-win game for the Bucs since they lost against the Cowboys, especially with the... although the Falcons do have a tough matchup on Sunday night. I will say that. Raiders-Saints.
Raiders?
I'm going to go with the Saints. I don't know who's going to be out for this. I know tonight against the Packers they have Kamara. Derek Carr's out for the rest of the year. And Chris Olave out. If Kamara and Olave are back, I'm going to go with the Saints. If not, then the Raiders. Colts and Giants.
Colts?
This is Colts. The Giants are not going to win a game the rest of the year. They don't want to win. You can tell. You could have said that. They didn't want to win whenever they let, Saquon Barkley leave in the offseason.
Yeah.
Dolphins and Browns.
Dolphins.
I'm also going with the Dolphins. As long as the Browns start Dorian Thompson, as long as the Browns start anybody other than Jameis, they cannot win a game. They can barely win a game with Jameis because the dude just goes out and throws like 50 picks.
Yeah. But it's like 500 yards.
Yeah. The biggest game. I really wish they would have flexed this into the Sunday night because this would be a great Sunday night matchup, but they couldn't for some stupid reason. Packers, Vikings.
I'm going Vikings.
I'm going Packers. This is a huge game for second in the division, and the Vikings need to win this game to compete with the Lions, because the Vikings can still get the 1 seed in the NFC. They're not going to, because they need a lot of help, but
nothing's impossible.
They would have to win this game and then beat the Lions the next week, which is a very hard schedule. Just think about the Vikings. Seahawks, Packers, Lions. That's a rough 3 games.
I already took down 1, though.
Yeah, the easiest one of them.
Yeah. Hey.
And you barely did that.
Nobody thought we'd even be in the playoffs. No one even thought we'd be this even close. So, this is an improvement. And Sammy D is our future
The Sunday night matchup is the Falcons and the Commanders. This is a big playoff implication game. Two of the better young QBs, rookie QBs. Michael Penix getting his second career start versus Jaden Daniels, probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, especially with that performance last week. The Commanders are in the playoff. They're in the final playoff spot right now. The Falcons lead the NFC South since the Bucs lost last week. So who wins?
Commanders.
I'm also going with the Commanders. Monday night is Lions and 49ers.
Lions.
Yeah, it's going to be a blowout. Moving on to the association. I forgot to add some stuff in the association, so give me 1 second. The first thing in the NBA, De'Aaron Fox could be on the move. The Kings are terrible. After adding DeMar DeRozan in the offseason, they were expected to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. But in typical Kings fashion, they're not even in the playoff spot right now. Besides De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis having arguably the best years of their career, it hasn't resulted in wins. Their bench is trash. My God, everything I'm saying is what I wrote all last week. But Fox could be on the move. There's been multiple reports. Evan Sidery came out. I hope I'm saying his name right. I really do hope it's Evan Sidery because I use him a ton. He writes for Forbes. He's reported that he may want out. There's been others. The only big name guy who hasn't reported it is Shams. We'll just say that. But he could be on the move. He signed through 2025-26, so next season. But remember, he turned a contract extension down before the season, and then he went on Draymond Green's podcast late last week, and said that he would love to spend the entirety of his career in Sacramento, but he wants to win. That's something the Kings have not done a lot of.
Yeah.
The Spurs and the Rockets are interested. Of course, there's also been the Nets could be interested, and the Raptors. I don't see either of them teams doing it, especially the Nets, because they're kind of just rebuilding.
Yeah.
If they were to do anything, it'd be the offseason. Sidery also reported that the Rockets GM does not want to make an in-season move, so don't expect them to do anything. They'd wait until the offseason. They don't really need to make a move right now, although he would be, like I wrote earlier today for the Sporting News, he would be a major upgrade over Fred VanVleet. He's a younger and much cheaper option, and frankly, he's a better player than Fred VanVleet.
He's a better leader, too.
More than likely, it will come down to the Spurs. The Spurs are prepared to offer them some stuff. Hopefully, them themselves not in it. As long as we keep, Wemby and
Well, you
Devin.
got to get rid of Wemby, so...
Oh, no crap. As long as we keep Wemby, Vassell, and Castle, I'm happy. If they want Sohan, I don't know why they would, because they have too many forwards. Hey, just take Keldon and Zach Collins, and we'll give you the Hornets first-round pick this year, because it's lottery protected, and they're going to be a lottery pick, so we ain't going to get it anyway, and then give them a first-round pick next year. Fox isn't going to gain a ton of interest just because he's on the Kings. Nobody pays attention to the Kings. They're not going to get what they want for him because they are a big market, but not like Los Angeles. Yeah. Some more trade buzz. Of course, Jimmy Butler has been in trade rumors all year. He's been the hottest commodity of anybody this season. Of course, Phoenix is the main team interested, but the Heat, they had a little bump in the road today. Evan Sidery reported that the Heat are not interested in Bradley Beal. They would have to trade Bradley Beal in the trade. The Heat did not go after Bradley Beal in 2023 whenever Phoenix traded for him, whenever the Wizards wanted to get rid of him, and they have not changed their minds yet. Beal, of course, has been
mediocre.
Yeah, he's getting paid a ton of money, and he's rarely been on the court. So in order for this to happen, they would have to find a third team that Beal would want to go to, because remember, Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause. So he gets to pick where he wants to go. And good luck with that. So basically, Jimmy Butler to the Suns is over. Because there's not a lot of teams out there that want Bradley Beal. And the teams that probably do, he's not going to want to go there because they're not going to be contenders. The easiest team to deal with is the Pistons. The Pistons have the largest salary cap room Bradley Beal probably doesn't want to be a Piston. Yeah, just gonna throw that out. Mo Wagner is out the rest of the season with a torn ACL. Another huge blow to Orlando. Most of Paulo and Franz are both out. Now Mo goes down. Mo Wagner was having a great... You're probably like, well, why are you talking about Mo Wagner? Mo Wagner's had a great year. He was in the 6th Man of the Year conversation this season. He was just unbelievable. This is a big loss to a Magic team that's already had a ton of injuries, and they have a lack of depth in the front court. This is a huge loss. But somehow they continue to win. The Thunder signed Alex Caruso to a 4-year, $81 million extension. Remember when the Lakers trying to offer him like $15 million?
Yeah.
Bet he's glad he didn't stay there.
Yeah.
In the Eastern Conference, the Cavs lead the Celtics by 2.5 games. Cavs have won 4 straight. In the West, the Thunder won 7 straight games, not including their loss in the NBA Cup because it doesn't count towards standings. They lead the Grizzlies by 3 games and the Rockets by 3.5 games. So Christmas Day, we're going to give our Christmas Day picks. First game, and the game that I'm most excited for, the Spurs and the Knicks. Wemby's first Christmas Day game, and it's at Madison Square Garden.
Knicks.
Spurs. Jalen Brunson already poked the bear. Can't poke the bear with Wemby. You saw what happened when DeAndre Hunter did that the other night. Dude went off in overtime against him. The second game is Timberwolves and Mavericks.
I'm
also going with the Mavs. The worst game on Christmas Day, the 76ers and the Celtics. This is going to be like by 30 points. Joel Embiid probably ain't even going to play.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be Tyrese Maxey versus Celtics.
Yeah.
The second to last game, the late game, at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Lakers and Warriors. I'm going to go with the Lakers. The Lakers have been better. The Warriors have been terrible. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. Final game is the Nuggets and the Suns. I'm also going with the Nuggets. So, pretty good games on besides 76ers, Celtics. That's bad. I don't know why they had the 76ers. They could have done Bucks Celtics. That would have been much better. Also, Giannis was pissed today that they're not playing on Christmas Day. I don't know why they're not. I feel like they would be a much better team to watch than the Sixers. I mean, I get all the hype with the Sixers because, they added Paul George. But, the NBA had to know one of them was going to be out. And hell, both of them might. Paul George should basically be out. Dude's averaging like 9 points per game over the last 2 weeks. Moving on to the MLB, the Astros signed Christian Walker. Did you like the move?
Yeah. It's a good move. Gives us some more power.
Phillies landed Jesus Luzardo. Say it.
Jesus Lizard.
From the Marlins for Starlin Caba and Amarian Boyd. Did you like this move?
Yeah, they have the Phillies are a win-now team. They got rid of a couple of mid-prospects. And Jesus Luzardo, when he is healthy, he is one of the best left-handers in baseball. And they need left-handed pitching.
Their starting rotation is disgusting.
Yeah.
It probably is the best starting rotation.
Behind the Dodgers, yes. Projected Dodgers, yes.
The Yankees signed Paul Goldschmidt to a 1-year deal. Good for them. The biggest news of the week, the Nationals land Nathaniel Lowe from the Rangers for Robert Garcia. Did you like this?
Great move for the Nationals. Nathaniel Lowe is one of the best first basemen in the game of baseball. He's consistently a 30 home run guy, and he hits like 280, and nobody talks about him. But this is a great move.
He also won a Gold Glove in 2023.
Yeah, it's a great move for the Nationals.
All we had to give up was a crappy reliever.
Yeah.
Hopefully we add some more relievers because we don't have any.
Yeah.
We don't have much anything. This does take us out of the Pete Alonso sweepstakes. But you knew the Lerners weren't going to pay for him anyway.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler signed with the Red Sox. He got a massive 1-year, $21.5 million contract.
That's a good signing, though. Red Sox needed a pitcher. This is definitely a pitcher that they saw. Walker Buehler, he's been riddled with injuries the past couple of years. But we see, if you watch the World Series, that is the Walker Buehler he is when he's healthy. Yeah, he's lost some velocity. So it happens when you have 2 Tommy John surgeries. But This is what the Red Sox needed. They needed the ace for the year because they know they'll a contender this year. They can get into a wild card spot this year. And they know they had to get pitching. They got one of the best free agent pitchers on the market.
A wild card spot, they could win the division.
I don't know if they can win. They might be able to win the division.
The Yankees aren't as good.
Yeah.
And who knows about the Orioles?
Yeah.
The Orioles are losing their top pitcher.
Yeah.
And other than that, their pitching staffs.
Yeah. And you can never count out the Blue Jays either. Depends on how they blow it up. But, Blue Jays had a terrible season last year. I don't think they have a terrible season this year unless they lose everybody, which is a very good possibility. But
so they're not rebuilding.
So, it's a great move, though. Great move for the Red Sox.
Jack Peterson signed with the Rangers.
It's a good left-handed power bat. That's about all it is.
Now, Sean Manaea returned to the Mets. Had a great year last year. A little resurgence. And the biggest news of the week, rest in peace to Ricky Henderson, who passed away.
Yeah, the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. And nobody will ever beat his stolen base record. Nobody. Ever.
It's kind of fitting that he leaves as soon as the A's left over.
Broke his heart. And there's one more trade I want to talk about. Yes. So, if you're also a Reds fan, like me, you probably feel the pain of what the hell are the Reds doing? This is the second straight just terrible move that we have made. Are we even trying to win? Are we just blowing this bitch up again? Are we trying to rebuild? We already are rebuilding. We have a chance to win the division. We can win the division. But not with you getting backup catchers for our freaking best relief pitcher. This is a horrible move. 2 horrible moves this year. I think it's the only 2 moves we've made as in trades, and they both just hurt us.
Hey, but they're making it up for you for getting Noel a couple years ago. That trade's better than both of them.
Yeah, but what are we doing? Idiots! This is what it's like to be a Reds fan. You think you play great, then they suck at the end of the year, and they're like, okay, they know what they need. No, let's just trade everything that we need and get nothing back.
Terry Francona has a mindset.
I don't think there's any manager that could fix this freaking system.
Some other news out of baseball. Of course, we're going to talk about more with this in the sports card segment. But Barry Bonds will be signing baseball cards. He's also been nominated to the Pirates Hall of Fame earlier this year. So there is some rumors for my MLB The Show fanatics out there. With the MLB The Show 25 logo, it looks just like his number.
Yeah.
Could his rights be coming back to the game, which would absolutely break Diamond Dynasty.
Yeah.
So maybe we're finally starting to see that little tilt of Barry Bonds is a huge part of MLB history.
I mean, he's only, the greatest player of all time. He should be in Hall of Fame.
Moving on to college football. First round of the college football playoff was terrible. I'm just going to say it. It was terrible. Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame all won in blowouts. There's not really much to talk about because, my God.
It was boring to watch.
This comes into question of a 12-team playoff. You're going to have this.
Yeah.
With this many teams and the amount of talent at the top.
I mean, the Texas-Clemson game was the best game and it wasn't good. Because Texas dominated Clemson.
The college football quarterfinals begin on New Year's Eve, which is next Tuesday. We will be, of course, recording New Year's Day next week, which is when the 3 other games go on. So we're going to give our preview today. Number 6 on New Year's Eve. This is the only New Year's Eve game. Number 6, Penn State versus number 3, Boise State.
Who did I pick? I think I picked Boise State to win. So I'm going to stick with Boise State.
Pretty sure you picked Penn State.
No, I picked Penn State against SMU.
Well, I had SMU beating Boise State, but I'm going to go with Penn State over Boise State. There's no way Boise State wins. All you have to do is stop Ashton Genty, which is easier said than done. But if you're able to limit him, the rest of their team can't do jack diddly squat. And Penn State is one of the better teams in the country. Hey, they finally got a win over a top 25 team.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. They're going to get another one this week, and then they're going to get absolutely murdered by either Notre Dame or Georgia. The first game on New Year's Day, number 5 Texas, number 4 Arizona State.
Arizona State.
I'm going with Texas. This is going to be a very good game between, Quinn Ewers leading Texas, and then Scadaboo leading Arizona State. He is one of the best, probably the second best running back in the country, behind Genty. The biggest game of the week, I believe this is going to be, it was already a game of the year during the regular season. Fitting that I wasn't able to watch it because I was here. And it's going to be the same thing. Number 8, Ohio State versus number 1, Oregon.
I have Oregon.
I also have Oregon. Although Ohio State looked really good last week against Tennessee. It's different. They're going to be on the road. Although it is a neutral site game.
Against the best team in college football.
The second best game of this week is no doubt number 7 Notre Dame versus number 2 Georgia. For Georgia, Carson Beck is out. He could be out the entirety of the playoff, which is usually what happens when, you hurt your UCL.
Yeah.
So who wins?
I had Georgia at the beginning of the whole bracket, but I think Notre Dame can win it.
I'm still going to pick Georgia just because I picked them in the bracket. But Notre Dame right now, behind Oregon,
is
the second best team in college football. And if you've listened to this, or you know me, I hate saying that because I cannot stand Notre Dame. But they are a great team. Or they could come out and look like they did against Northern Illinois earlier in the year, and Georgia drops 70 on them.
Yeah.
We're out of college basketball, the new rankings. I'm not going through all the games last week, because frankly, there weren't very many good ones. New rankings, number 1, basically all of it stayed the same. Top 10 damn near stayed exactly the same. Number 1, Tennessee. 2, Auburn. 3, Iowa State. Duke, 4. 5, Alabama. 6, Florida. Kansas is 7. Marquette, 8. Oregon, 9. Kentucky dropped down 6 spots to 10. Number 19 is Mississippi State. They moved up 7 spots. Purdue fell 5 spots to 21. And UCLA dropped down 4 spots to 22. So there are it's not a good week in college basketball. Again, this was probably planned around college football.
Yeah.
Because the NCAA wants to make their money there. The best games this week on Christmas Day will be the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. I don't even know who's in it. More than likely, there'll be at least a few ranked teams. So. And then on Saturday is number 22 UCLA versus number 14 Gonzaga. So that is all I have. Next week we will be doing, since we're doing our the awards for the cards, whatever you want. What do you call it?
The hobby awards.
Yeah. We will also be doing a next week a year in review for
the 1-on-1 sports cards awards. Your awards.
So we will be giving our best NFL, NBA, MLB player. We will do a Team of the Year, Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Best Championship, and Best Single Game Performance of the Year. I believe this is the exact same thing we did last year. So be prepared for that.
You have to remind me.
Yeah, I know. So that's all I have. Thank you guys for listening. Have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe. I hope you get everything that you wanted. And enjoy the NBA, not the NFL, the NBA on Christmas Eve.
We won't be able to enjoy the NFL because it's going to buffer the whole time because it's on Netflix.
That's a fact. Hopefully they fix some things after the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, they also have WWE coming on, so they better fix that shit too.
You can't even have Netflix.
Yeah, well,
I'll
find a way to watch it. I'll go to someone's house and watch it. I was asking, yo, can I watch WWE at your house? I'll pay you.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. Have a Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate this time of year.
Yeah.
And come back here next week. Peace.